Year 10 in the books. Antoine and Friends Football League. Draft is over. It's time to get a sense of what everybody's teams looks like. Do I have any faith in them? I'm not going to do any kind of season predictions or match projections because we don't have a real fucking schedule yet, Antoine. I'm doing this from the last person in terms of the divisions up to the top, starting with the final member of Division 3, Otto Pickens, aka Dr. Warren Stopak. Somebody near and dear to all of our hearts. He has consistently struggled in the last 3 years of the league, but with this team, it's possible that he could make a run. I said before I actually looked at his team. Holy shit. He took Kyler Murray with the 5th pick overall. That was a stretch. He was going QB5, and you took him as the third quarterback off the board. Taking him ahead of Lamar Jackson was really why I'm criticizing that. You didn't do that badly besides that. A.J. Brown, great receiver. You were able to pick him up fairly late after there was a mini round on running backs. Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and David Montgomery. This is where I start to worry, especially since all three of them are currently in your starting lineup. Having been in a position where I had many players from one team, we will not name which team, from the same team playing on my fantasy team, it limits the upside. Because only one guy can score a touchdown at a time. Only one guy can carry the ball at a time. Both running backs and the tight end, unless you're waiting to see which of them blows up and then dealing the other one or some sneaky shit like that, I'm a little puzzled by those picks. But you're a medical doctor. You're brighter than me. So you know what? What do I know? Rashee Rice came into his own at the end of last year, really established himself as the wide receiver one in KC. I'm with it. Kirk Cousins in Atlanta. Balls to the wall. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. I swear he has said some corny shit like that since arriving in Atlanta. Will it work? I don't know. Nor do I really care. Next, one of my guys for this season, coming off the gambling suspension season. He's fucking bonkers before he got kicked out of the league. He was playing with a better quarterback, Matt Ryan, but he's now playing with my sleeper pick, Will Levis, as his guy throwing him the ball. And I think that could open up some opportunities for him to outperform his ADP at 92, which is where he was taken. Now, moving down this list, we get into the sleepers, the dart throws. And I don't really like any of them except for Ezekiel Elliott at 125. Now Mooney. I guess if you are thinking Calvin Ridley doesn't pull it off, maybe you swap him out for Darnell Mooney. Hand-capping receivers is usually not advised. But what do I know? Jacoby Myers. It's a fine, I think he's been done dirty in his career. I do. And this is a pick that says, I believe in this man. And I like it. Detroit. Pick one, number 64. Whatever. Who cares? Moving on to the next person. Achilles heel. Sam. The person I am most upset to be playing in a league with this year. Starting out with Jalen Hurts. That can't be bad. Garrett Wilson. Really depends on Aaron Rodgers. Now, considering the Jets don't really appear to have a solid number 2 option in the receiving game, if it were me, I would just plan on getting Garrett Wilson out of the game most of the time. Off an Achilles injury, this is not a situation where I am feeling amazing about going after Garrett Wilson. But, trendy Super Bowl pick, I could be eating my words very easily in 3 weeks. Pacheco. Sure. Antoine likes to say that talent is just opportunities plus talent, and Isaiah Pacheco is a fine running back, but he gets a lot of opportunities, so that makes this a decent pick. Dalton Kincaid, this is a little bit of wish casting to me. The number 5 tight end, off the board or listed on the board. I think he was taken around that. There was a little bit of a tight end rush at one point. Shakir and Kincaid are naturally the 1 and 2 in Buffalo. Is just something that I think remains to be seen. We really don't know. I mean, look, we don't know about any of this. That's part of the fun. Aaron Rodgers at round 5. That feels early. I know quarterbacks went early in general in this draft, but Aaron Rodgers is what we call in the medical industry old at 40 years old. There is one other person who has managed to go into his 40s and play well, and his name was Tom Brady. There is one other quarterback in his 40s from the Packers who went on to the Jets and played extremely poorly, and his Brett Favre. So we don't really know which of those two we're getting. I'm excited to see which. Aaron Jones, don't care. I don't know about the Minnesota backfield. Amari Cooper, Cleveland. Look, she won the season for her. Comes the wide receiver 24, and he got picked with pick 75. I think that's okay. I don't think she reached. I don't think it wasn't a crazy pick. It was whatever. Tony Pollard, you are doing the coin flip of the. No, you're not. He's in Tennessee now. What the fuck do I know? Okay, ignore everything I said. He was really good with that offensive line in Dallas. The running game was always solid, but the problem is the running game always had Derrick Henry. So I like Tony Pollard here. I'm fine with it. Devin Singletary, New York Giants. All this talk about how they've upgraded the line in the offseason. That, he's... I just don't see it. I just don't. Like, Saquon Barkley could barely make it happen when he was the focal point of the offense during last season. I don't love Devin Singletary, but he's also a late 9th round pick. It's not exactly the end of the world. Romeo Doubs, he solid kind of. Let's hope maybe 1 or 2 guys don't perform as well in Green Bay. Sure, whatever. Ride the hot hand. DeAndre Hopkins, love him in the 11th round. I was thinking of taking him. I know people are clowning on him on his age and his the injury that he's dealing with right now. But the fact is, DeAndre Hopkins has never failed to produce with any quarterback in his career, which is really remarkable. Like, if he is on the field, he is going to do damage. Even last year, when the Tennessee quarterback situation was really a mess. So if my Will Levis bet pays off, I imagine that Sam with DeAndre Hopkins is going to be the main beneficiary of that. I don't think that Tony Pollard... This is also a weird move. Tony Pollard and DeAndre Hopkins on the same team. You don't want a wide receiver and a running back from the same team because they can't both get all the points. You kind of want to hope that one guy gets focused on or the other. They can't both get a touchdown. So you're probably not going to play them the same week. I mean, I don't see how you would, but okay, there we go. That's Sam's team. Moving on to my team. When you look at my beautiful team, Nick is out of charge. I zigged where everybody else zagged. There were many quarterbacks taken. The first 6 picks. 5 of the first 6 picks were quarterbacks. The 6th one was Christian McCaffrey. I took the only man to outdo Christian McCaffrey last year, or to keep pace with him, rather. And that is Tyreek Hill. Anybody can get injured at any time. He's dealing with something right now, but I love Tyreek Hill. I love this first choice. I zigged where others zagged, and I did it again in the 2nd round by taking Jamar Chase. I got 2 of the top, 3 or 4 people in the league. The 1 and 4 moving into this league. Both of them first round picks in, PPR leagues without 2 quarterbacks. So I'm totally fine with that. Tua. This was a little bit of controversial, I think, The biggest reason I took Tua as early as I did is I knew that Kara wanted him. And so I figured that because she would want to draft him, I would need to pay a premium if I wanted to actually get him on my team and secure the Tyreek Hill to stack. Because she had already taken Joe Burrow from me. Interestingly enough, one choice before Jamar Chase. So that was dead for me. So Tua Tagovailoa, he is my man. Trey McBride, this is a hype train pick. It feels so high to draft a tight end, but tight ends are terrible most of the time. You got Travis Kelce, you got Sam Laporta, and then I don't know. So I took the guy that was receiving dump off after dump off after dump off at the end of last season. His numbers were very deceptive from last season because he really wasn't doing that well in the first half because he was injured. And then through the last 8 weeks, he was number like 2 or 3 on tight ends. So, like the Trey McBride pick, Matt Stafford, I picked for the reason of Cooper Kupp seems really good and Puka seems really good. Well, their quarterback probably shouldn't be so bad. I'll turn the house down, but I like taking him where I did. I do. Kenneth Walker and Ramondre was a situation of just pick the best running backs available. Obviously, a lot of people took much better running backs. I am not saying these are world beaters by any means, but they are both starters. They are like the preferred. I'm not going to say they dominate their backfields, but they are the preferred running back in their backfields. So, I'm rolling with them as my 1 and 2. Scary Terry, I am surprised did not go higher. Because again, the who the fuck is the Jaden Daniels? There we go. Jaden Daniels that kept from escaping my name. Jaden Daniels is expected to be a top 10 quarterback this year. He's got to throw to somebody. Scary Terry has been a 1,000-yard receiver each year of his career, including last year when it was by far his worst performance, playing with a motley crew of QBs. Then came Javonte. Javonte was tough, but I had to pick a Bronco. For some dump-off desperation drives at points in games, maybe having 1 or 2 games, like when we play Oakland, maybe there will be one Chargers game we win, like we do every season, and Javonte might be serviceable then. Gus Edwards, I think he's just got a good shot at this backfield, and I don't have good options at running back. So I need to start taking lotto pickets here. Keon Coleman, I just really like his opportunity in Buffalo with, Khalil Shakir and Kincaid being the clear people ahead of him. But Curtis Samuel doesn't scare me that much. I think he can work his way into being the second option pretty quickly here over the season. And, we might be seeing the second coming of Gabe Davis. Who knows? TJ Hawkinson, 12th round because he was injured. I like throwing him right into my IR spot. 13th pick, totally shanked it. I should have taken Adam Thielen. Not because I think Adam Thielen's going to be amazing, but because I know he is going to play, and Marshawn Wood is not going to play. I just liked having a rookie who maybe might do something. I don't know. It was a bad pick. And then Will Levis was my final pick. Both of my QBs are out on bye on the same week, so I'm kind of screwed there. And Levis just has, out of the people that were left, he seemed to me to have the most upside. And by upside, I mean 10 points. So I'm glad with that. Division 3, underdog anchor champ. That would be Will's team. Jaden Daniels coming first off the board, followed by Brock Purdy. He snaked and took 2 quarterbacks. Fine. I mean, again, the run was so heavy. A lot of running backs left. He could have gotten, I think, a lot better value at a different position. But everybody made fun of me for taking Brock Purdy last year, and it ended up working out very well. The difference was I took him in the 10th round, and Will took him in the 2nd. So we will see how that works out. Devontae Adams, I don't know if that was an auto draft or not, but he's Devontae Adams. I think it's a good pick. Mike Evans, it's kind of like Scary Terry, has the NFL leading record for most 1,000 yard seasons. So I think he's really good. Or I think he's a really good kind of choice for fantasy. Malik Neighbors, everybody is saying that this is going to be the guy for the Giants, so why not? Good pick. Maybe a little bit of a stretch at number 60. Before somebody like Debo still being on the board. I mean, sure, if you think that they're going to repeat again, based on my super official rankings of this year's defenses, he did pick the number 3 defense. Using a 6th rounder for it, questionable. James Conner fell far as fuck in this draft. He was rated as the RB10, RB16 going into this. And Will picked him with the 85th pick. That's good value. Pat Freiermuth, I mean, we've seen flashes of him. The difference is we have a new QBs coming in to throw to him this year. Russ really did not like throwing to tight ends when he was throwing for the Broncos. So you're kind of hoping for Justin Fields, I feel like, with that pick. Chase Brown, I want to make sure that it's the Chase Brown that I'm thinking of. I think he's a good choice, like for that part, right? I mean, it's a split backfield. So, actually, I kind of like it because Zach Moss has never really impressed me. Jameson Williams, I wanted Jameson Williams really badly. I've been saying this. He was injured his entire rookie year. His 2nd year, he was getting involved, especially later in the season, and doing some really explosive plays. I think that Jameson Williams is really, really good. Tyler Lockett, I mean, he's unfortunately, this is no longer the days of Russell Wilson basically choosing which of 2 guys is going to blow up that day. Now it's Geno. I like the value here. Same like I like the value on Jordan Addison. Same like I like the value, I guess, on Luke Musgrave. I take that last one back. I really don't know Luke Musgrave. But I like these other 2 guys. So, you know what? That's good. You know what? That's 20 minutes. I think I'm going to split these into 3. So, part 1 is the revision of Division 3, and then I'll upload part 2 as soon as I can. Probably follow shortly after this.